More medications, less health. Something's broken. Traditional medicine manages symptoms, but true healing addresses root cause. I'm Josh Rimini, pharmacist turned healer. At Beyond the Pills, we merge ancient wisdom with modern day science to inspire you through stories of transformation, practical trainings, and holistic healing. Join me and other practitioners as we guide you towards vibrant health, body, mind, and spirit, and move beyond symptom management into true healing. Welcome back to Beyond the Pills. I'm Josh Rimini, your host, pharmacist turned healer, and today is going to be an interesting one. We're going to flip the script a little bit, and we're going to talk about Beyond the Pills. We're going to talk about the community. We're going to talk about the evolution of this podcast and what it's becoming and where it's going. And today I have Tara LaFont-Gooch. She is not only a friend, mentor, she's part of this podcast team. She hosts her own podcast. She's been on this podcast, coaching me through some TED Talk stuff. Like, Tara and I we're just part of this collective team that we're building with Beyond the Pills. So thank you for joining us today.
Hey, I'm happy to be here and talk to your audience. It's exciting. You've got so many exciting things going on right now, Josh. Your podcast is one of them. I think it's like the main anchor that's like building through knowledge, through trust, through wisdom, and really helping people go to the next level of their life. So kudos to you. It's really inspirational.
Well, we have some big announcements today, right? We're announcing some really big things, and we thought it'd be fun to just get it on a recording and actually post it, right? So, but looking back, like, yeah, the big reveal is we've gotten a pretty decent milestone out of what we did. We just hit 500,000 downloads, 2,400 5-star reviews, right? You know me, I don't love that for this perspective of, did I pause here?
I can still hear you.
Okay.
But it is like
with my video.
Could be a streaming issue. Are you on Chrome?
We are back with some amazing news. I'm excited, right? This podcast took a really cool turn last year, like when we decided to really go all in on Beyond the Pills and talk about people's stories of transformation. And it just had a beautiful organic growth the way that it did. People would find us and we'd have really great stories and really great actionable items, and it just became something amazing. And as of last week, we hit 500,000 downloads, which, it seems pretty amazing. Like I wouldn't even have thought of it, and not because we got the downloads, not because we have thousands of 5-star reviews. Like, that just to me means people want to listen about things that go beyond the normal, go beyond the prescriptions. And we know that healing is possible, and we're moving towards that. And I have so the natural evolution of this community that's been listening, that's been engaging in these conversations that we've had with amazing people all over the world. To me, I've always said this word collective, right? It's not a one thing. It's like we've had lots of talks about different modalities and different things, but the theory, the essence of what we're talking about is things that go beyond, right? Beyond the prescriptions, beyond the conventional medicine, without describing the conventional side as anything wrong. It's just, the word beyond to me means moving forward, moving through that and into a new paradigm of health, which I believe we are right there. And so we built this because people have listened. So we've called, right? We've done what we need to do today to move this thing forward. So I'm really excited to talk about what's next.
Me too. It's exciting. I'm happy to be a part of this movement with you. And it really is a movement. You're talking about the word beyond. It's move beyond the normal, move beyond what we ever thought was possible, move beyond what's, everyone else is doing. And I like that because it's simple and it's empowering. Like your message through your podcast, through the Beyond the Pills movement. I mean, the visual I get when I think about it is just moving out of stagnation and into what's possible. And I think it's very empowering when we think of our own bodies healing itself, which is why I know your podcast is doing so well. But I think more to that, there's something like a spiritual flywheel. I'm really a believer in this in business, right, Josh? I'm sure you and your audience can relate to that term, even if you've never heard it before. A spiritual flywheel is a business that actively works to raise the collective consciousness, to actively better others. And you do it on the principle of not what I can get, but what can I give? And it's that spiritual flywheel. So the law of reciprocity is automatically working in your favor. The law of attraction is automatically working in your favor. And eventually these things catch on and they become movements, which is what yours is right now. And what I think is so cool about the podcast movement itself is that, and I'm kind of jealous because I'm like, I have a podcast, but I haven't converted it into any type of interesting product. But you have. So you have this really cool thing that you started. It started with really blowing up your podcast. Now you have 500,000 downloads from people all over the world. The best guests from all over the world. You had Dr. Fab Mancini, who's Dr. Phil's doctor, on your show not that long ago. I mean, you're getting like really quality, awesome guests. But then you also turned it into this amazing Beyond the Pills Wellness Made Simple kit, which is something that we all need to feel our best. And when we feel our best, we can transform into our best self. So I love it. It includes my top 3 supplements, and I'm excited to talk about it, Josh.
Yeah, well, what you said resonated a lot. And I think that's why we've attracted these amazing guests. We've, gotten on the top 5, top 10 lists of health and wellness. Like all of that is because I always think of it as like capital T truth, like the big truths, the truths that resonate because they're true. They're not polarizing. We're just moving people through like the innate ability. So you said some really good stuff in there, and I want to bring it back because, yes, I'm a spiritual person, but we're living in a way where science and spirit are together. We're moving this thing together. And I've got more insights on this past couple of weeks building this because from the podcast, from the ethos of Beyond the Pills, it's everything I've done with pharmacists, with people. It's just like holding this space and trying to define what the heck it is over these last few years. And I had some really good insights. But yes, like the kit is the physical manifestation of the next step, right? The Wellness Made Simple process is, the evolution of that is can 3 supplements and 3 labs and 1 lifestyle plan really affect your health and well-being, not just the markers on your labs or, the check the boxes of disease. We're not managing disease here. We're restoring balance. And when you started taking those 3 supplements, this is why it's like, it's not the 3, it's 3. It's the 3 most deficient things in the body in our modern day world that we need to put back in to make sure we've got some level of foundational health. And I wanted to make it as simple as possible, right? Yes, we can continue that path, that we all know the journey never ends. And when you understand that, that's a good thing, but the journey can begin. That's why when you open that box, you're like, oh, your wellness journey starts here, right? Because it's a start, right? Show people the box.
Yeah, I just think this is so cool. It says your wellness journey starts here. And this is so it's like unexpected. Like you went above and beyond with what somebody need. Like this is just again, you're saying here are your tests for the specific things. You've got a blood sugar test. There's pamphlets in here. They're beautifully branded. Everything looks so good. And what I love, oh, you included a note in there for me. Thank you so much, Josh. I love that.
Hmm.
That is so sweet. See what I mean about above and beyond? I love this wellness wisdom. And then you have your supplements here as well. I have always been low on vitamin D, Josh. Is it because I have a lot of Scottish DNA? Tell me the truth. What?
Well, your skin color, you can see it. You've got a fair skin color. Well, yes. The thing with why we put these 3 supplements in there, why we put that one little kit, you have 3 drops of blood and you test 3 things. Your hemoglobin A1C, which is your 90-day marker for blood sugar. It's just a simple metabolic marker. And then we're testing vitamin D and we're testing omega-3 index. We want to see the amount of omega-3 in the blood and we want to see the amount of vitamin D circulating in your body. It's more like a hormone. It's not just a vitamin. It's really essential for everything. We have vitamin D receptors on all cells. So why not test for those things? And why? Because when we test, we optimize.
Mm-hmm.
So everybody thinks of these 3 things as a supplement. I'm supplementing something that I'm not getting out of my diet. Well, I want to switch that to optimize. So the goal for this simple kit is to optimize. The only way to optimize omega-3 and optimize vitamin D is if you know the number, and then you adjust your regimen, whether it's food-rich things that contain those, which is difficult for vitamin D, or we supplement with it. So you get the supplements, you start the blood draw, it comes back in a couple weeks, and then we can modify based on the levels. So instead of getting, I'm just taking the supplement, not knowing if it works, right? This is the big thing that's going to be happening in 2026 and beyond is how do we actually know these things work? Because our left brains want to see stuff, right? So it's not about taking a vitamin to get you to a level that's not deficient. That's not what we're talking about. So if I can optimize your vitamin D past 50, because the reference range is 30 all the way to 100, which is a big wide range. But the problem is the sick care, the disease management model says you went too low. Now we got to pull you outside of low, like the range, right? But when we talk about health, wellness, well-being, healing, we want to optimize. We want to store balance. And we know, just Google it, right? AI it, whatever we do to say, like, what are the ranges for vitamin D where we can prevent problems, prevent cancers, prevent there's certain types of things. We got to move that needle past 50, sometimes 80 to get people in the range of optimization. So that's what we're talking about here. And the omega-3 index, that's one of those 3 blood drops on that one lab kit. We get all 3 at the same time. I've talked to you about this before. We've had the inventor of the Omega Quant on our podcast. So testing omega-3 is even just as critical. I did some numbers the other day, and I was at some conferences a few months ago, just validating some of the things I've been thinking about. But again, go back. We can listen to that huge deep dive on omega-3. We've done many of them because it affects the endocannabinoid system, which is the master regulatory system. Long story short, if I get that number, just the number, based on how much good fish you're eating and how much omega-3 you're supplementing with, I can quantify your number up to and past 8%. That's a big number. And I know I'm getting technical here, but the goal here is to have the listeners and the community understand the difference between I take a supplement and that number is optimized.
Well, that's the key for me, and one of the reasons I'm so excited about this kit is, one, I wanna know where I'm starting, right? And give me, like, that baseline. I wanna see this marked improvement. I wanna not just see it, but I wanna feel it. And I think, again, that's the differential too. That amongst other things, the other, uh, aspect of this is that all of these supplements, I know they're going to be the best because you reviewed them, you've studied them. You're making sure that these are, made and manufactured in, the best way possible. I think right now there's a lot of noise out there if you go on Amazon and everything, right? And people aren't sure. They're not sure if is this the best one? Is this the one a pharmacist would recommend? What about this one? Guess what? I know that this is the best one because you have packaged it, you have recommended it, and done all the necessary testing. That makes me feel good as a consumer, right?
Well, we could probably devote like 3/4 of this podcast content all together on the science and the wild west of just the nutraceutical supplement
Yes.
world. You
Yes.
used to mention Amazon. I've been studying clinical nutrition in this fashion for close to 20 years, not just as a pharmacist, because I wanted to know. So
Right.
one of the key pieces to this community is getting access to things that I've deep dived on in my entire, like my personal life, but also how do I get the best quality on the planet for the price? Period. Like I've been doing this in my pharmacy and brick and mortar and some online for years. Like it's not just professional grade because that's where the standard is for me because I came from pharmacy, right? And there's a big standard of care when we manufacture things to the specific needs of people. Like, do you actually know what's on the bottle is in what's coming in you? Amazon has admitted this. This was almost a decade ago that where a story came out and they're like, yeah, I guess so. They like literally didn't deny it, but there's almost half of the things that you can buy on Amazon. I don't know what the actual number was, but they straight up admitted they were selling counterfeit supplements because they can't control it. So even if you think you're going online, there's so much Me Too copying unsafe things out there. So yes, we packaged this, we co-created it. These were the three everyone needed. So I started with these. But when you join the community, because that's what we built this now to where we're offering people access to deeper levels of education, deeper levels of not just content and information, but now actionable things to do. So best supplements on the planet for the price. So important because
So
I would
important.
love to spend your money like I spend mine. I'm not going to, this community is not a supplement discount club. This is not where you just go and you can buy stuff cheap. This is not Costco. This is a community where people say yes, they want to move deeper, but they have a ton of questions. Like you said, Dr. Google isn't a wellness advisor. He's information, but where do people go to get health and wellness information? And then they go, well, I need to talk to my doctor. Well, the doctor's been trained in sick care. He's been trained in disease management. What we're talking about is what I'm now starting to say is that's linear, right? We treat body parts. We're just in the body, but we're also just treating parts. Like we incentivied the system around specializing in things, getting separate. So this separation is really just an illusion to whole health, right? We're moving away from that and towards something that's more whole, body and mind. and the field around them, the energetics. There's an energetic field around that. I know that sounds woo, but it really is. It's quantum. It's quantum physics. We know. If I asked you today, do you understand what the word quantum means? Quantum physics, quantum mechanics, quantum computing, right? This is what AI is, right? It's quantum. It's building exponentially. But what does that word really mean, Tara? When I talk to someone about it.
If you're asking me, it's like another field. It's beyond our understanding a little bit. For me, at least. I'll just speak for myself. It's a little bit beyond my understanding, right? I'm not a quantum physicist, but it's
Well, I'll break it down real simple because I was built. This is the essence of what Beyond the Pills is to me, and this community is we're moving into the way and manner in which the healthcare is changing. We know this, but the world is changing exponentially, right? Nobody's denying any of that. Well, that's a quantum leap. Okay, so what we're talking about is quantum healthcare, and I'll explain that from the aspects of quantum physics. When quantum physics is all about relationship. It's particle, right? But when we observe something, we observe it and it becomes particle. So there's energy, which is waveform, and then there's particle, which is matter and energy, right? They're both existing at the same time. This is the essence of quantum physics, right? Where we're moving from a place of relationship, not just, oh, we're in this 3D world, this body, particle, right? There's a molecular activity going on here, but there's also an innate wisdom and intelligence of 38 trillion cells in my body talking to more of the microbiome that are all engaging in this thing that knows what to do. I don't tell each cell in my body what to do. It exists. Can we prove it with science? Some of it. But when we're talking quantum healthcare, we're moving beyond biology and moving into the relationship of biology and belief. Like we know the placebo effect is real, right? Dr. Dispenza is like proving it. And I've studied directly under him. I know this is getting deep, but this is where we're going. So the essence of Beyond the Pills is how do we define quantum healthcare? It's the relationship that we have with ourselves and the environment around us, epigenetics, into a place that's where we are today. This is the new healthcare. The healthcare that treats the body, the mind, and the energetics around it all as relevant. It just depends on where we're observing at that time. That's why we still need to do the labs. We still need to do the supplements. We still need to affect the physical body. But we have to also talk about it in the relationship of taking action, building people into an ecosystem where they're taking part in their own healthcare journey. This isn't something from the outside fixing them. We've talked a lot about this on the show. It's about the relationship I have with myself and the surrounding environment and how that relates to my healthcare. And really, that's the essence of this community, is moving beyond and getting to the relationship where all of that matters. And how do I navigate it? Because it is, when we're talking AI and quantum versus Newtonian physics, right? That just means we're on yes, we are in this 3D realm, but we've surpassed Newtonian physics still applies to us every day, right? We have gravity. We're sitting here on the ground. We're talking in real time, but we know that quantum exists in a different realm, but it still exists together, right? So now quantum healthcare is moving in the direction past disease management, past just the body and the ologist approach, even past functional medicine, which root cause medicine, biology is moving beyond that. I had to figure this out a couple of weeks ago. So I'm like, it's not functional. It's not energy medicine. It's not traditional medicine. It's all of that. I used to say and all the time, right? It's together, but it's really the relationship of the two that makes this thing, oh my gosh, yes, this is where we are. And so building that model out in the simplest way possible because we don't want to go to the place where people don't understand it.
Right. Right. Well, I think that's another thing, it's important that the supplements that we get are, verified, tested by somebody reputable like you, somebody who knows what they're talking about, but also that we know how to use them and integrate them with our lives. And again, increase our lifestyle in the process. What I like about this approach in particular is that, it's a community. Somebody gets these supplements, which people need already. And then they get in a community, get access to you, get access to your wisdom, get access to a lot of different things, which are some of the things we've been talking about recently, right, Josh? It's, hey, people that are experts from the podcast, let's get them in to do, uh, sessions with the community members, get them to, you know, people can ask questions, we can do lives. I mean, there's so many cool things and directions we can take this, but not only do people get supplements they already need, we know most people need. I needed magnesium. I told you that, Josh. Like, oh my gosh. And I also definitely I need all of these. We all do. But they also get access to experts and go inside of a community. And the cool thing is nobody's doing this because
Well,
it's going to the quantum level. Like
I
we're
don't know if
talking about.
there's community everywhere. And I think that's the piece that's so important is, yes, you get you get access to the right supplements and the right labs and supplement protocols. Like we can't ignore that piece, right? That's the clinical nutrition side, the functional medicine. This is, but the real goal is to belong into a community. We know that when you're in a community, you learn more from your peers and more impact from the community itself, the peer to peer learning, than we do from a guru or someone that's an expert, subject matter expert. Now we need that. So that's why this community is building as a collective. We're building the community from the response of the listeners and my local community. And so I was thinking about this in a month and a half ago. I was like, how do we build this community with that right relationship, with that reciprocity? And I said, you know what? I'm not selling a monthly recurring revenue, blah, blah, blah thing, because that energetics doesn't match to me. What this means is join the community. But yes, there's an energy exchange. So I want participation. I want people to participate in their own health journey, and I want to guide them in that way as a guide, not as the guy telling you what to do. Just here's guide. So to getting access to the community, we're going to build the community. It's going to have a portal. We'll deep dive more on our podcast. So we'll get more intimate relationships with the people that come from the podcast. So we're going to do more like challenges, and I'm inviting everybody to have something for this community. I used to ask 3 questions on my podcast. What do you want them to know? What do you want them to feel? What do you want them to do? And now the 4th question is, how does this benefit the community? So we're going to build from that. Because there's so many beautiful people and relationships I've known and met through this community, just through the podcast. So we're going to get people that want to engage from the provider perspective, from retreats, from all the things. Like you went to Belize the other month because we met people that just moved this forward. That's part of it. But the part I'm really excited about is, excuse me, is I'm like, well, I say these things all the time. Like somebody asked me about like magnesium. What the heck's going on with that? I'm like, you know what? We build this community. I'm just going to do a once a week, one review on my intimate relationship with X. It could be a supplement, a technology, a lab, whatever. I'm just going to do a quick deep dive so people can get real education through experience. Everything I talk about is through my own experience. And so we're going to be doing like a Rimini's Remedies every week. We're just going to post one thing and then give the community access to that. And that's why these partnerships that create from the top down are all going to be added value for the community. So again, it's not a pricing club. It's something that we can give access to. I don't think people know how to get access to some of this. So we're giving people access through experience shares. And then that last one is, well, how can I offer all of this up here, all this stuff in my head to the community? You know, I'm not only trained as a pharmacist, a cancer survivor, clinical nutrition, functional medicine, energy work, mind body work. You know me. Like there's so much I've learned over the 20,000 hours I've studied all over the world on ancient wisdom and modern science, to biohacking, all the things. So I was like, you know what? Why don't just do an office hour where the community can ask me any question and we just go off of those. So it's just adding more value to what I'm already doing, but expanding it to a bigger reach, only to get more access to the next step, which is action, right? And I think that's where the journey begins, is when you take action. You open that box, you have these supplements, you have a kit now, you have one step to get you to the next thing. And so the community is being built that way so we can get people out of here into the head and into the doing part, so they can become a better version of themselves down the line each day, micro moments.
Absolutely. And, for me, the magnesium was really key. Again, I talked about it in our short episode that we did together. But, it really helped with anxiety, just feeling like calming my nerves, sometimes it felt like my mind was racing. I'm sure people can relate to that, right? Before you, just try, prescription medication, try magnesium, because what I didn't realize is that so many of our diets are lacking magnesium, and most people are deficient in magnesium. And I know I've been tested for vitamin D. I've been deficient in that. So I'm sure omega-3s, it's like you need these supplements anyway. Just because our diets, even if we do eat healthy, right? They're less nutritionally dense than they even were just 50 years ago, Josh. So
Well, that's the big key, is like, why did I put these three things in there, right? Those three
right.
supplements are so incredibly important. It sounds oversimplified, which means our brain wants to go to the next stack and the next thing and the next, longevity, peptide. Like, yes, we got you. We're going to hold space for that. But I always say, where's the foundation? You can't build a mansion off a crumbling foundation.
Exactly.
You can't build the house of your dreams from a crumbled foundation. So we're building that foundation, and people that want to keep going, right? People can do well just from that, because we know that the environment around us, the tomato we're eating isn't as nutritious, or it's laced with glyphosate or something. Like, we can build this thing forward so we can have access to those things and give people awareness. It's like, maybe you do want to test for heavy metals or chemical exposure. Well, you want to do that. Here's a test. So here's the test that I've validated over the years to do X, Y, and Z. So all of that's coming through the community. You know me, I'm not on all social channels, going all over the place, trying to draw in, subscribers or getting attention. No, we want people that have listened, that are saying yes, and that are they are empowered into their own health. And I will give my all for someone that says yes to that. And so the foundation approach to this is join the community. Yes, it's a paid community. And the reason it is because if I give, I will give as much as I can, but I want to make sure that that person is saying yes. I'm not here to convince people of what we're saying is true or not. It's just if it resonates. So for $95, one time, join the community. That gets you access to the things we talked about. The Ask Josh Anything hour, the product in like everything reviews, the remedies, the quick things, and expansion of the podcast into more. We're going to be building retreats. We're going to be building. Yes, you can get this not being in the community, except these pieces we're going to hold into our community. But I was thinking about how to get that even exchange, that reciprocity of energy. And I said, well, why don't I just give those 3 supplements to everybody that joins? That's a $95 value for real. That's what they retail for. So join the community for $95. We'll send you those 3 supplements in return, not to give you the supplements, but because I'm gifting something back to you. So I'm basically saying you're in, I'm in from the very beginning. We just figured out how to get those 3 supplements to anybody in the country. So if you're listening in the United States, we can do that right now. And we're building out, so you click the button, you say yes, and then we get started. So because all of this will get built. We're building all of this.
Yeah.
And
Well, I love
if
it.
you want the lab and you want the kit that you got, it's just a little upgrade because the kit costs money. All that costs money. So we're not giving anything away to get your business. It's literally the most beautiful energetic exchange that I could do. So our goal is to build the community, and in exchange, you get that, right? So I'm excited for that. I'm so excited because people will have deeper access to healers, to providers, to me, ask me more, get more, and I can build this from anywhere in the country. So if I'm on retreat, I can still build the community. It's so fun.
Well, and, interviewing people who are at the retreats for the podcast, for the community, doing lives from.
Well, that's what we're going to do this year. You and I, we know we're going to go on retreat and we're going to do podcasting from our healing retreat.
I love it. It's
And
nice. That's my
all of
jam.
my favorite healers, my personal healers, and we're co-creating magic together this year. That's why it's a collective. My friends have communities. They have online programming. They have things. So why not bring people together to give as much as possible?
I love it. So I will volunteer. I'll volunteer to do either a podcast or a live for the community about gratitude. What do you think about that, Josh? Would your community love that?
This is where I love where all of this can go, right? It's like I know beautiful people like you love building through gratitude and your confidence podcast, and it's part of the piece, the essence of who you are. Because yes, the world needs more gratitude and appreciation, and we tend to draw to 3 negatives to get to 1 positive. So we want to make sure if we can this is where I think raising consciousness, raising vibration, raising energy into the community is you start with appreciation and gratitude. We teach this. This is the essence of that, of the balance of everything. It's called coherence. Coherence is balance. Coherence training is literally heart-focused, censored breathing. So we're going to teach heart math in this community, and it starts with gratitude. So let's start with how do we get gratitude? And then we can actually reset the nervous system with people.
I was just talking to my mom, not to go off on too much of a tangent, but I just love this topic. I was talking to my mom about gratitude this morning, and I said, what I realized with gratitude, there is no bottom. You can't touch the bottom. Once you learn another layer of gratitude, you just realize, oh, I still have so much more to go, right? And that's the cool part about it. And being able to teach that to people would be really exciting and fulfilling for me. So count me in, however I can help.
I love it. No, see, this is how it all works. Like the right people, right time, right place. Like people are ready. If you read not people, like everybody, but good amounts, that flywheel you talked about. The flywheel effect is moving because we're getting to this place where people understand they are a part of the journey. Now, We're not going to be advertising this on Facebook all over. Like, this isn't that kind of community. It's you've learned, you've listened. We have plenty of reviews and plenty of people to nurture because you bring a friend, like bring a friend to the community, like bring them to hey, what question do you have about your health, wellness, healing? It could be about any subject that we can bring in the experts to answer these things and then store them into the portal. The thing is I love in-person stuff.
Me
So I
too.
want to talk to you about one more thing before
Oh my
launch everything.
I
I'm
know.
thinking about what could I offer somebody, not in a package, not with here's the labs and the supplements and here's the 3-month thing you get and da 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 da. No. So I'm like, you know what? I love having conversation with people because my zone of genius is kind of in that shamanic world, but in this quantum health space. Is like, how can I play in the modern science and the timeless wisdom in both of those realms at the same time? That's what I love to do. I can do the functional and the pharmacy and the deprescribe and the mind body. Like, I put it all together, but because I'm so divergent, it takes this personalized consult, a personalized transformation, a personalized journey down to the genomic level. So I was like, you know what? This is what we're going to do in 26. I will craft, and I've already started it, and like I've got three people going right now. Like, first, like they're like, Josh, I would love to figure out a plan for my health, wellness, longevity, whatever that goal is, as long as it's beyond the sick care model into true healing, true transformation, true longevity. That's the place that most of us are at in our stage of life. I'm doing a VIP day. I think that's what it's going to be called, but basically it's a VIP day with me. We do the genomic profiling so I can see your genomic profile from a wellness perspective. This is not a disease. I'm going to get this thing and this thing. No, epigenetics. I go
Okay.
down to the cellular level with you.
You explain that a little bit.
Sure.
Okay.
So
what is that?
imagine knowing what diet, lifestyle, supplements, and labs would be specific down to your gene.
That down to my genes. So
Down to your
the
gene.
genetic
So-
sequencing?
So taking a look at your genetic profile, they're called single nucleotide polymorphisms. They're called SNPs. Not from a disease perspective, cardiovascular, methylation, sleep, mood, whatever that longevity, we want to see what's underneath. Go down to the microscopic genetic level.
Okay.
And then we're going to bring it out to the telescope. Where do you want to be? How do you want to go? So I'm taking in all this information, anything you want to give me, labs, your life, assessments. There's a 2-hour kind of process to take all the things in. We wait for the lab to come back because genomics takes a while, about 4 weeks. We schedule you. And so Tara, you and I will hang out we'll do all of our in preparation work. We'll put Grace our intention into this. What does Tara want to be a year from now? Whether it's all those goals, those longevity, well-being goals that you might have. We're going to get your genomic profile. We're going to take all the stuff, everything you've ever done up until now, what's worked, what hasn't worked, through assessments. We're built into the portal. When that lab comes back, we have our intention of where we want to go in relationship with the stuff. So we taking the information in the preparation phase.
Mm-hmm.
And in the journey, the day that we hang out together, we literally hang out together and we talk 4+ hours. So 4 to 6 hours, you get my whole day with me. I take everything off the noise, nothing on it's like when you go on retreat, right? You kind of unplug for the day or the week. You don't put that noise in there. This is for you. This is the one thing. And we're going to build out that plan together. And then in 2 to 4 weeks, we're going to come back and I'm going to have the plan for success already written out. Here's the things we want to do in month 1, month 2, whatever that looks for you, because it's hyper personalized. We don't know what labs, we don't know what supplements, we don't know what kind of lifestyle until we have the gather information. It's not the lab that's going to be doing all the work. It's through that relationship we have. Because when we speak for 2, 3, 4 hours in a whole day, we're going to uncover what really matters. We're going to uncover the space. And if you're local to me in Charlotte, because I'll come see, this will be an in-person day. This is not virtual. I will come see you, or you will come see me. And we'll spend the day together, and we'll end with a meal.
Cool. I
Because we're
love
going to
that.
end with a meal, and then we'll reveal your process, and then how you get that implemented is all up to you. We'll figure out what that looks like. There's a couple different layers. How much accountability do you need? Here's your plan. Let's go implement it the way that best works for you. But here's the access to everything now that we've talked. And I'm so excited for this, because this is so regenerative for me. Because you could ask me, Josh, I just want to know what the best biohacking stack is for longevity and yada, yada. Or you could go like, you know what? What's my self-care routine look like? We're going to build all this out over one day, and you get an intensive, but you get to actually have a plan for success rather than having to figure all of that out. I feel it's the most impactful work I could do with someone to get them to a transformational year. And
Yeah.
I'm really excited about this. And I'm only doing one a week.
That would be so cool.
We're going to open it up to the community. You got to get in front of that. So we have to make sure that you kind of qualify for what this looks like. You can ask your questions. We draw the lab, and it's just a saliva lab, and then we get to work. So there's a bit of a front period, and then there's a bit of a waiting period, because I only have capacity to unfold my full day with someone so once a week. So I'm only doing these once a week. So I'll do 4 a month forever. And I'm like so excited.
I can't wait. It's exciting. And of course, I live in North Carolina, and I know tons of people in North Carolina. So it'll be easy to get to you. And I think that's so worth it, because, we can have really good intentions. I think a lot of people have really good intentions, and we still don't execute on whatever it is. And to anybody that's listening to this right now, there's a saying out there: you have a million problems until you have a health problem, and then you have one. That's a really good saying. It's probably one of the simplest to remember, and it's so resonating, and it's so true, right? And
Well, you
if
think about it, though, people don't take action on their health until there's a crisis.
well,
And
that's
it
what I'm
doesn't
saying.
have
Yeah,
to be that way,
it doesn't
but
have
that's
to be.
just normal. That's like, oh, I thought I was healthy, and then I had a heart attack, and now I took action. Well, we can get in front of that. We can get in front of it with the genomics. We can get in front of it with omega-3 indexing. We can get in front of that now with simple things to do. There is no guarantee in life, just like but everyone has the right to heal.
Right.
And I can take the most crazy case. It's not what on the outside is going to fix you. It's what needs to be rebalanced. Anybody can turn their life around 360 in 3 years.
Oh, yeah. Gosh, even in a year with consistent action, you're not recognizable. If you do just 1% improvement, which, I'm passionate about, because I think we can all do that. I think that's attainable for everyone. It's just that one better step, right? One better step for your health, one better step for your spirituality, one better step at developing relationships. That's where community comes in. One better step at taking action. And, before you take the action, wouldn't it be great to have a guide, right? Who can actually guide you in the right way, at the right time, in the right course of it, again, giving that plan, that strategy, because we can take action by ourselves and still be lost, and still spin our wheels, and still waste
Well,
energy,
it
or we
goes
could
through
take
that
action with the right people, right?
80-20 rule is
Yeah.
so pertinent with everything in the world. 20% of people will follow through on a DIY approach. Like, you have the plan, you'll follow through. Like, you're just an action taker. But 80% of people need accountability.
Yeah, it's
right? You
true.
think about all the gym memberships that are out there and the percent of people that actually go to the gym on their own and do the thing they needed to do. It didn't happen overnight. It was those micro habits, right? But if you pay a little bit, because when you pay attention. It's natural. Then it just depends. How much accountability do you need? I spend the most I possibly can, not dollar wise, but the amount that works for me on my coaches, business coaches, life coaches, everybody coaches. I just happen to know a ton of them now because I've invested in myself so much that we're all kind of friends now. So we help each other because we have different ways of doing it. So, like you, for example, and other people that are working deeper into my organization, we're gifting each other's zone of genius in ways that resonates with us. So we can help each other grow and move things forward, right? That's how these communities start. That's how they build. This isn't my community. I'm just the founder who allows all these other things to come full unfold as they go. So we have the the low thing offer, like it's not a low impact. It's just join here, free gift from me. Now you're in our community. Now you said yes. Now we're growing. Now we can give more to the right people because I want to put my energy where it counts too. That's the other piece. I'm not going to be putting out useless content out on the internet just so somebody might look at it. Like I want people that are going to be real and understand like there's something here, right? That value. People that
Yeah.
are listening, they are listening. They're listening to the podcast, listening to these things. Let's bring them in. And then if you want my highest touch, I can protect my energy and I can uplift it and it's for the right person. All of this for the right person is priceless. For the wrong person, it's worthless.
I you're so right on, Josh. And I do want to just echo something you said. You are one of those people that actually bring value to the world, right? And there's so much noise out there. There's so much noise. There's so much inundation of just bam, bam, bam all the time. And putting content out for the sake of putting content out, right? What you do is, again, it's a radically a different approach. It's about extreme value add and really helping people long term with sustainable health in the simplest way possible without being noisy, just strictly adding value and with, again, that spiritual flywheel mentality in mind of just how can I add value? How can I increase someone's life? How can I give them the tools, the knowledge to be able to do this successfully as well? It just says a lot about you, Josh. You know, that's why I support you, ma'am.
Well, you and I got along in that realm very early, right? You're in the same space. Is we're not doing this. It's purpose over profit. But profit's not a dirty word. The more people that join this community, that $95 you join goes directly into building this community 100%. Like there is nothing else besides the community. We're going to pour all of our energy into the community, and I'm going to ask people to pour their energy, whether you're a, a, a community member who becomes a client because that works for you, because you want some accountability, maybe you want some health coaching, you're going to already get access as a community to the things that we use in the community. And it can go as deep as you want, right? That's why I'm kind of inviting people. Well, if you really want to dive in, let's spend a day together and let's figure that out. And this is what that investment in yourself is. A lot of people right now are wanting to invest in themselves, but they have no idea. Well, we can save you a couple $100,000 without doing it with a DIY approach because I've spent it on me. I've spent it on my professional. I've spent it on my relationships. This is my journey in my life's work coming to this place right now. Not because I was looking to get to here, but because it's evolved to this part of the journey. And so for me, it feels really good to say, join the community. If once you say yes, I'll give you my all. That doesn't mean I'm going to give you one-on-one client just for joining. No, that means we're going to give you what we can give you. And if you want to go deeper, here's the ways you can go. We have community-based programming. And it's local and online. If you are local, we're going to have brick and mortar classes. I can't wait to do meditation and breath work and all the fun things that I can do with people in a personalized way, all the way down to a personalized roadmap. So you pick, you choose your level of engagement, and we build the community. Together we grow is the philosophy.
I love that. I love that. So where are we going to dinner after the in-person
Well, you can do
retreat?
lunch or dinner. I've already said, if you are local, what's fun is I'm going to teach you part of what health is, which is self-care. So you come in the morning, we do my morning routine together. We meet for 4 hours, whether it's outside, whether it's on a walk, whether it's clinic based, it doesn't matter. We're going to co-create the whole day. And then we end with a meal. And of course, if it's the morning, I'm taking my day off. This is a day off with you. If you want to join me on my afternoon activity, let's say it's a hike, come. Let's go. Let's expand that conversation even more. Getting
Oh,
in
that'd be
nature
fun.
is a key piece to everybody's health, well-being, and coherence. We will do it together. And I'm so excited for this. So I get to travel to you if you want me to, or you can come travel and meet me. You can go to my spare bedroom in my house is now my Zen biohacking healing retreat center. So you get access to like probably close to $75,000 worth of tech that you can just try if you want to. You don't have to, but it's there. So let's try it. Let's use this stuff and show you what I'm all about, which is ancient wisdom, modern science. And this is what we do. So it's all about Terra Day. You get
I
to
love it.
you get to come out on the other side with a rock star plan for success.
It's a goal. It's got health has got to be one of your goals, right? And I told you before we got started on this podcast today that I'm really making an intentional practice this year. Every single night before I go to bed, I'm physically writing with a pen and paper down my goals. And of course, your health has to be one of them, right? So I think this is really good for anybody, but especially action oriented people like that who want, more clarity on their goals. They want to go after it. They just need that action step and that, um, a little bit of instruction from you. And then they're off to the races, right? And you're always there for support. And that's what the community is for as well, as a place to gather in between these in-person sessions as well, right? To stay
Yeah.
connected, to form friendships with other people of like-minded nature and, deepen your knowledge and keep healing. So I love
That's
that. I love what you're
and
doing.
and that's the essence of community, right? Community means you're meeting other people going on the journey of health, healing, happiness, transformation. Oh, I took this and it did this. Great. This isn't like we're not doctor. This isn't medical like disease management. This is a community of health and wellness seekers and some finders, and we're building and sharing wisdom and growing together. And that is like, we know the BHAG, the big, hairy, audacious goal is to deprescribe 10 million unnecessary medications. How do we make a medication unnecessary? Well, we help heal. We heal through community. It's part of the blue zone philosophy of what we're doing here. How do we help the community live past 100 vibrantly, right? We start moving down the space of, well, how many people have you, like the 80-year-old who says, I don't have any issues, I'm not taking any medicine, I feel good, I'm working out every day, I'm sleeping well. Like, that person can be you, can be anybody. We're going up and down. There's a lot of up and down in this world going on right now, and it's not going to get any like easier from that perspective. But the health and healing journey doesn't, it's not necessarily easy, but it can be simple. Part of that simple is doing it together.
That's right. I love that. Love that approach. Can't wait. I will say this. My mom's 78. no medications. And she looks great. So I have a bright future ahead of me, Josh. And maybe with your help, I can be like my mom, right?
Let's dive into the genomics and also look at the lifestyle, right? It's
Yeah.
both. It's that relationship we have with the labs, with the supplements, with life that make the difference. And so we'll learn together, we'll grow together, and we'll build together. We have big goals to getting people moving in this community. So this is a large part of my energy this year, is to just continue to build this in the right intentional way. We are not inviting drama into this community. We're not inviting people to complain. We want people to get what they need. And we want people to do it with heart, right? Heart-centered community with that gratitude and appreciation that you were talking about. That's how we build. We build with highest energy, highest vibration, highest intentions, and together we grow.
Cool. Thank you for having me on the show today, Josh.
This was fun. Thank you.
Yeah,
Thanks for flipping the script a little with me today, guys. I'm really excited for the future. We're going to have all the links. Tara's going to help us build this community. And until next time, stay well. Thanks for joining me today on Beyond the Pills. If our mission to de-prescribe 10 million unnecessary medications resonates with you, share this episode, subscribe, and leave a review. Whether you're a practitioner or someone ready to reclaim your health, visit rx2wellness.com for free resources to begin your journey. Together, let's go beyond the pills and co-create a world of vibrant health and true healing. Until next time, live better and stay well.